Today we're going to be talking about how to quit your job. As an entrepreneur for 8 years, full-time for 5 years, I can tell you that the scariest part of this journey was quitting my 9 to 5, going from the stable, I know when it's coming paycheck, to the real grind and the real hustler lifestyle. Woo! So let's talk about it first off. Let's talk about why do you want to quit your job, right? You know, because I think a lot of times we don't even ask ourselves that question on why do we want to quit our job? Are we not happy there? Are we just doing it for the money? Is it a stepping stone? Do you hate it? I mean, it's okay. And once you find that reason and you know why, that'll make the journey a little more easier, is knowing the reason why you left the work industry. For me, you know, I was making decent money. I was a cook, construction worker, was working a few jobs. But to me, I just felt like it was more, you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like it was always more to life. It's no reason why there's YouTubers making more money than some doctors. I mean, it's true. It's happening. Like, you know, the college route is not just the only way nowadays. You know, we have success here in 2024 and going on in 2025 and 26 and then so on and so forth. So I just got tired of wanting more. You know, I was really frustrated going to work, just feeling that, you know, how frustrating it is to know that there's more to life than just this 9 to 5 and paying your bills and then coming home. And, you know, to me, I was like, no. I can't work for someone for the rest of my life. So I decided to take my passion and I jumped out there. I mean, a little backstory on me, like, I jumped out there. Like, anybody that was a part of my story knows, like, I took the risk. I didn't really have much going on. I had like maybe a couple clients. I quit my job filming on an iPhone 11. My friends will vouch for me. I had an iPhone 11. I quit my job because I made probably like $300 doing videos on my iPhone. I probably had like $1,500, $2,000 saved up. It wasn't much, you know. Like, I jumped out there with a dream. My mom always loves to tell the story. I told her I was quitting my job. She said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Mom, I'm walking out on faith." And she loved to tell that story because she said once I told her that, she was like, it was nothing she could say. Like, he's walking out on faith, let him walk out. And sure enough, I walked out on faith. And I fell flat on my face. I mean, my year 1 and 2 was really rough, guys. I mean, really rough. Because, I mean, that $1,500, $2,000 I had saved, I took that and I blew it within a week buying camera gear. I bought a bunch of camera gear. I bought a Sony, bought a gimbal. Like, I spent it all on camera gear with only like a few clients. So my year 1 and my year 2 was really rough. Like, I ended up losing my home, sleeping in my car, couch to couch. Like, it was rough. It's like, you know, it was very rough for me in my year 1 and 2. But those times humbled me, though. You know, they made me a little smarter, and I made a deal with myself. I said, look, we're going to give this thing 5 years. 5 years of struggle, 5 years of grind, and we're going to see where I get in 5 years. If it's too much, if it ever gets too rough, I'll go back to work. You know, I'll go get a 9 to 5. You know, and that was always the deal. And I was sticking out with the 40 years, but at least I gave it a good strong 5 years. I'm on year 5 now, and as you can see, my year 3, 4, and 5 is way better than my year 1 and 2. But throughout that journey, I did learn some things that I wish I would have done in the beginning. And then the people that I teach now, like, I give them this. Like, I tell them these are the steps you need to do so you can avoid that rough year 1. And let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do is save money. Now, you cannot ever save your way to financial freedom, but you can save enough money to, you know, when you hit that ground running and you leave that 9 to 5, you got some type of cushion. Do not do what I did and only have $1,500 and blow it in the first week. Don't do that. Well, granted, a lot of you will say, Walter, that was an investment and it got you here. And you're right, it did. But if I would have went about it a little smarter, I could have had some money to take care of me because that, like I said, I was losing things rapidly. So save your money, a good hefty amount. I mean, I recommend, well, it really depends on step 2, your budget. Your budget. And that's how you know how much you have to save. You have to start budgeting. So if you're not already budgeting your money, you have to start budgeting your money before you leave that job. You have to know how much you're spending on gas, food, rent, Netflix, BGE. I'm sorry, well, gas, electric for the ones who are not Baltimore natives. You have to know where your money's going. You have to know where it's being placed. Most rich people can tell you where they spent their last quarter, their last 25 cents, because they have it all budgeted to a T. Give yourself some money for spending, not too much of that. You don't need too much of that, right? We trying to get to the top, not spend money. But, budget. You have to budget. You have to know where your money's going. You have to know how much is coming in, how much is going out. And that's definitely going to change once you make that step as a full-time entrepreneur. So, but that step, please, do not ignore that step. Budget, because when you jump out there and it's just you and your business, you're gonna love having that skill. You're gonna love knowing where your money's going and how it's coming in, because when you don't got that every 2 weeks or that monthly or that weekly check coming in, it's just on you. You're gonna appreciate knowing how it's flowing, and that's gonna keep you on track with the money you save and the money that's coming in. Budget your money, people. You have to budget. Do not skip that step. Step 3, build a community / a clientele. You have to do that before you quit your job. What I did, I jumped out there with like maybe 1 or 2 clients with an iPhone 11. I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? This is what helps your budget, right? Before you quit that job and you build your community and you build your clientele, you're going to know. You're going to see it coming in when you write your budget out. You're going to be like, okay, I'm making this amount of money from my business already. And now you see how that starts to work. Now you see what's coming in. You see how much time you're putting in, because you're probably doing your business part-time. And now you get to say, well, if I'm making this now, if I leave my job and I go in, I'm potentially can make X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you get to see it as like, okay, if I double this, I can start to make this amount of money. Now that's all, future projections, but we got to go off of what we're making now. Okay. So we got to go off what we're making now. And we got to give ourselves time. So build that clientele, build that community, start to get the ball rolling before you leave. I didn't do that. I jumped out there, like I said, with a few clients, no ball rolling. I was trying to roll the ball while living in stress and struggle. No, get that ball rolling before you leave that 9 to 5. You will thank me later. Build the community. We did an episode on that. I'll dive deeper into that later down the line. I'll do a video on how to build clientele. But make sure you build those things before you leave that job. Make sure you have a good amount, a good comfortable amount, and you'll know how much it is. I can't tell you to make sure you have $1,000 a month coming in. Can't tell you to make sure you have $10,000 a month coming in. You'll know how much you need based off of your budget, because your budget will tell you what your expenses are. So you need to be at least making your expenses before you leave that 9 to 5. Now, your savings is your cushion, right? That will maybe cover you if you fall short or you find out what your slow season are, because for some, we do have slow seasons, and, some months are better than the others. But, that'll give you time. Your savings is for that, to learn your company as a full-time entrepreneur. But you don't want to rely on that. You need to have that clientele and have that community supporting you before you quit. Okay? Got me? All right, now the last step, there's not too many, and I'll probably do a part 2 to this, guys. So the last step number 4, pay your bills ahead of time, before you put in that 2 weeks. You hear me? So that savings that you've been saving, don't destroy it, but take it and at least pay at least 1 to 2 months ahead of time. So that way you're at least a month ahead. You already have clientele coming in. You have money coming in, you have money saved, you paid a month early, or at least, I would recommend at least 3 months. But It depends on how much you got coming in and how comfortable you feel leaving, how ready. You'll know when you're ready. You will feel it. You'll feel it. Don't let it be a bad day at work that tells you you're ready, because you might just end up quitting on the spot. But you'll really know once you're financially once you're financially ready, once you're mentally ready. You'll feel it. It's gonna be a feeling. What me and my partner like to call it is bases loaded. All our bases are loaded. We can now take the action. So wait till all those bases are loaded, and then you take the swing. Make sure everything is good, everything is in order. You got money saved, you got your budget down, you got your clientele, and your community backing you up. Make sure, and then pay your bills ahead. Let's forget that. Pay them bills ahead of time, at least a month, no less than a month. Well, can't really do no less than a month, but y'all get it. At least a month, more the better. And that way you'll be like, okay, now you can leave comfortably, because the last step. Step 5 is put that 2 weeks in. You are ready to take this full-time journey. Yes, it's going to be scary. Yes, it's going to be nerve-wracking. It's something you've never done. But I'm telling you, in the end, it's so worth it. It is so worth it, guys. I mean, I wouldn't trade this for the world. I mean, I have my freedom. I get to wake up when I want. I get to pick the clients I work with. I bond with my clients. I get to travel. I get to do pretty much whatever I want, how I want, but I still have to work. Don't get it wrong. Like, you are trading that 40 hours a week to work 100 hours a week, maybe even 200 hours a week, right? But it is a beautiful thing being your own boss. Now, there are some other things that we're going to talk about later, like far as, taxes and LLCs and scaling your business so you don't have to work in it no more. You can have people work for you. There's a lot of things I'm going to say for later episodes, but that is how you guys quit. Now, let's recap. Save the money. Budget the money. Build the clientele. Pay bills in advance. 2-week notice. Additional tip. Put yourself, once you do that 2 weeks, once you put that 2 weeks in and it's just all you, put yourself on a calendar, on a clock. Schedule your days out. You could buy a calendar. You can get a whiteboard with the calendar on it. You can use your phone. But clock it like you have to go to work. You have to treat your business like a job. You have to. You have to. So if your old hours were 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, guess what? Your business hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Weekends off. Or if you want to do 11 to 7, 3 to 11, 10 to 6, that's the one I like to work. 10 to 6 here. But make sure you take time off. And if you're feeling motivated, you want to do some overtime, do that. But make sure you guys get your rest. Your mental health is more important than anything, and you can't function if you're sleepy. If you're sleepy, you're only going to be given a half-ass job anyway. So make sure you get your rest. Don't try to be the Superman, the superhero. I'm the super entrepreneur. I can do it all. No, you don't want that. Just make sure you balance it. You have to balance it. Have your social life in there with your friends. Have your fitness. Make sure you work out. Get some exercise. Because all those things make you feel great as a person, and it makes you have a great attitude at tackling your company and attacking your business, especially when it's just you. It's just you. There's nobody here to clock you in, to call you if you're late. No, if you're late, that's on you. You have to show up for yourself. So with that being said, I'm excited. I hope this video helped you guys. I mean, go for it. You got this. You got any questions, please shoot us an email, shoot us a DM. I love to talk to people. I will help you guys. I'm going to start a consulting soon because I realize a lot of people need my help on a one-on-one basis, or I might just start doing like class videos. But just stay tuned to the channel and you'll see a lot of stuff, because I'm going to be giving away a lot of info that can help you guys go from A to B. Let's get to this next level. Let's get this money. Let's do it. Let's go to work.